Today I'm in kindergarten. I thought first grade was bad. Mm-mm. Kindergarten, but I love it. It's like I'm so the what do you call it? Finding Nemo. Oh, and it's the stingray. Yeah, I'm the stingray in kindergarten, singing everything and what? We need to wait our turns. Did you raise your hand? Why are there so many people standing around me? Find your seat. Find your seat. I'm just singing everything. Anyway, I still stand on the first 3 years fundamental development in structure in a child's life. These kids, soon as I say quiet, boom, quiet. Soon as I say whatever, they do, once they finish their work, they're allowed to go and do them. I have one child who is consistently off task. I learned my first subbing day, I'm not having power struggles with any child. What I have also learned is because people are not paying these kids attention who choose not to do their work, they overlook that these children are high functioning. I have had issues with entire classrooms, which are just behavioral issues, but I've had issues with particular students. And when I actually pay attention to those students, it's not that they're not doing their work, it's that their work is not challenging to them. But if you actually sit down and say, okay, and you allow them to do it on their time, because first I was like, you're supposed to circle them. You colored them, but you need to circle them. Sis was like, I'm going to write on the whiteboard. I was like, go write on the whiteboard. And then when she came back, I was like, okay, are we going to circle them now? Because we're going to do things correctly. Because we want to make sure if we do it right. And so then she circled them. So I learned that from Caden yesterday when I was teaching him how to use the bathroom, that he's going to move how he wants to move, but he will do what I want his way. You have to allow for that space. But these kids who are high functioning and where they're at doesn't challenge them, if the teachers allow them to just misbehave and be off a task and label them a kid that doesn't listen and a bad kid, because everybody points out the bad kid and the kid that doesn't listen in every classroom, which let's please stop labeling kids bad kids, because then they assume the identity. By the time you get to the higher levels, these are the kids that are just in complete defiance and don't do their work at all. Now, these kids will ultimately age out of the system and become adults who never did any schoolwork. So for what schoolwork is worth, they didn't do any of it. They never followed along. They never learned the rules of the world according to the school system. They always went against the grain. They didn't develop basic skills because the adults around them allowed them to go unsupported. This is who you're dating. This is who you're trying to build a family with. This is why when you say something, they're like, huh? Because they're brilliant and they know that they're brilliant now. I know this is dumb, this is easy. But they don't know how to apply themselves and they don't know how to get through it because no one ever made them do it. And the second thing that I want to cover, the school that I sub at, primarily the demographic is not black, which means I go into these schools. First of all, if I say black, the kids are like, as if it's a slur. But of the black students that I have encountered, the deficiencies at the lower levels. I found a first grader who can't read. This is something they should be doing before they start school. At least basics. You got the sight word flashcards popping off. You got them all up around the house. You turning them into games. Learning has to be life, period. First, 0 to 3rd grade, period. You have to get your kid ready. They decide on the number of prison beds based off of 3rd grade scores. Okay? That's how serious this is. Don't know how old that statistic is. Somebody's going to be like, well, actually, does it matter? They're determining the prison beds based on the fact if your child can read and write and do some math. So don't you think you should make sure your kid can read and write and do some math? I'm just saying. Today I have 3 black children in my class. Of the 3 black children, I do believe one might be cognizantly not all there, just based on the way he articulates and the way that he's moving. But again, just because someone has learning challenges, I'm trying to use the correct language, just because someone has learning challenges does not mean they cannot learn. That just means that you at home, because a teacher does not have time to deal with your child who is in the wrong classroom. Your child, they need to have all the children who learn at a specific level in the same class, instead of mixing them all together, because a teacher has to keep up with the middle of the class. I can't keep up with the slowest. I can't keep up with the fastest. I have to keep, which means the slowest is going to get left behind, period, the way that this current system is structured. They need to, I don't care how your kid feels. And they don't need to be labeled remedial, mid, advanced. They don't have to be labeled anything. Just all the children that you identify that I can move at a slower pace with this subset of students, they all need to be in the same classroom. Those high functioning kids should all be in the same classroom. Those, move at their own pace should all be in the same classroom. Those with the behavioral issues should all be in the same classroom. And put someone in there who knows how to work with those people. Alter people out. You got them on Monday and Tuesday, you got them on so that people don't get burnt out. But sprinkling, I don't care what the logic is. There are children who are coming to me and I just have to give them the answer, because at this point I don't have time to repeat myself to them. If you group the children according to their learning abilities, they will actually learn. Because I don't have time to teach these kids. I just got to give you the answer at this point, because you didn't came here like, what starts with the S? Snail, book, lion. Lion, no, that doesn't start with S. Let's try again. Snail, book, lion. What starts with an S? Lion, no. Let's try again. Snail, book, lion. What starts with an S? So I have 3 black American children in my classroom. Of those 3, 2 don't even know the letter S. They don't know the sound. And no cognition. But can tell me their hair smells pretty. Can tell me, what dance moves they can do. And I'm not making this up. These are things that these children have told me, but can't tell me the sound that S makes and what words start with an S. So we are focused on the wrong thing with our children. We are failing our children academically. We are the reason why the average person reads at a 4th grade level. The current crop of adults that's raising these children and sending them into the school system expecting them to teach them. When we sent our kids into the school system at the lowest possible denominator, no one's teaching your kid, not even you. I want you to get that. No one is teaching your child. And right now it's easy. It's memorization. But if they don't have the foundation to continue to memorize upon, they're just going to fall further and further behind. And these are the children who are aging out the system, becoming the adults who do not have the aptitude to court, date, engage, marry, and establish a family. I'm at ground zero, kindergarten. Stop playing with y'all's legacy.